The third conditional is a grammatical structure in English that allows us to talk about hypothetical or imaginary situations in the past. It helps us express how things could have been different if something else had happened. By using the third conditional, we can explore alternative outcomes and contemplate the what-ifs of the past. Imagine you missed the bus this morning. As a result, you were late for work. We can use the third conditional to express this situation hypothetically. For instance, we might say, if I hadn't missed the bus, I wouldn't have been late for work. This statement implies that missing the bus was a condition that led to being late. The third conditional is particularly useful for expressing regret, speculating about different outcomes, or simply exploring hypothetical scenarios. It allows us to step back in time and consider how things might have unfolded differently. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the structure and usage of the third conditional, providing clear examples and addressing common mistakes to help you master this essential aspect of English grammar. The third conditional is all about exploring unreal or impossible situations in the past. It allows us to imagine different outcomes based on different circumstances. It is about looking back and saying, what if things had gone another way? For example, imagine you went to bed early last night. Because of that, you woke up feeling refreshed. But what if you had stayed up late instead? You could use the third conditional to say, if I hadn't gone to bed early, I wouldn't have woken up feeling refreshed. This type of sentence structure helps us to understand the relationship between cause and effect, even in imaginary situations. We can see how one action could have led to a different result. By using the third conditional, we can express regret, relief, surprise, or simply curiosity about the past. It allows us to learn from past experiences and imagine different possibilities. The third conditional follows a specific structure that is important to understand. It consists of two clauses, an if clause and a main clause. The if clause typically starts with if and uses the past perfect tense. This clause sets up the hypothetical condition in the past. For example, if I had studied harder, the main clause uses would have or could have followed by the past participle of the main verb. This clause describes the imagined result or consequence. For example, I would have passed the exam. Putting it all together, a complete third conditional sentence might look like this. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Understanding this basic structure is crucial for correctly forming and using the third conditional. Remember, the if clause sets the condition, and the main clause describes the potential outcome. The past perfect tense is a crucial element of the third conditional. In the if clause, we use the past perfect to indicate that the action had already been completed before another past action. The past perfect is formed using had plus past participle. For example, had eaten, had gone, had seen. Here are some examples of the past perfect in third conditional sentences. If I had woken up earlier, I would have caught the train. She would have gone to the party if she had finished her work. They wouldn't have been late if they had left on time. Remember, the past perfect in the if clause emphasizes that the action was completed in the past, and it sets the stage for the hypothetical situation. Section 5, Mastering would have and could have. In the main clause of the third conditional, we use would have or could have to express the imagined result. Both are modal verbs that indicate possibility or likelihood. Would have suggests a likely or certain outcome. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. It was highly likely that studying harder would have led to passing. Could have suggests a possible outcome but not necessarily a certain one. For example, if I had left earlier, I could have avoided the traffic. Avoiding traffic was a possibility but not guaranteed. Choosing between would have and could have depends on the specific meaning you want to convey. Consider the likelihood of the outcome and choose the modal verb that best reflects that. Section 6. Exploring different possibilities. The third conditional allows us to explore a range of hypothetical situations, from simple everyday scenarios to more significant life events. We can use it to express regret. If I'd practiced more, I would have played better in the concert. Relief. If I hadn't left the house when I did, I might have missed the bus. Surprise. If you had told me you were coming, I would have cooked dinner. Curiosity. What would have happened if I had taken that job offer? By using the third conditional, we can analyze past events and consider alternative outcomes. It helps us to learn from experience and make different choices in the future. Section 7. Common mistakes to avoid. Even though the third conditional might seem straightforward, there are some common mistakes that learners often make, using the wrong tense. Remember to use the past perfect in the if clause and would have or could have in the main clause. Avoid using other past tenses such as the simple past. Incorrect word order. The word order in the third conditional is important. Make sure the if clause comes first, followed by the main clause. Confusing would have and could have. Remember the difference in meaning between these two modal verbs. Would have suggests a more certain outcome, while could have suggests possibility. By being aware of these common errors, you can avoid them and use the third conditional correctly and confidently. Section 8. Tips for mastering the third conditional. Here are some tips to help you master the third conditional. Practice regularly. The more you practice using the third conditional, the more natural it will become. Listen and read attentively. Pay attention to how the third conditional is used in spoken and written English. Start with simple examples. Begin by practicing with simple sentences and gradually work your way up to more complex structures. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. View them as learning opportunities and keep practicing. Remember, mastering the third conditional takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. Section 9. Conclusion. Embracing the hypothetical. The third conditional is a powerful tool in English grammar, allowing us to step into the realm of what if and explore alternative pasts. By mastering its structure and usage, you can express regret, relief, surprise, and curiosity about past events. You can analyze hypothetical situations, learn from experience, and consider different choices. Embrace the power of the third conditional, and watch as it enriches your ability to communicate complex ideas and explore the endless possibilities of language.